Hello, fellow queens. It is me, your boy Isadora, and I'm finally back in my house. It's so nice to be home. I wanted to just do a little video. I'm catching you up on like my last week in Morelos because it was fucking insane. I got a caldo de pollo on the stove right now because I have a horrible stomach infection. So anyway, we'll get there. You might have to come with me to check on the caldo de pollo. That's the point of this venture. Anyway, remember, that's also why I'm drinking. I'm a swearo, because I'm gonna die. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I got a fucking story to tell you, okay? So me and my friend, we decided to do like a couple weeks, like spend them in Tepoztlan. I've been living in Mexico City for a while, but I'm starting to consider moving to other parts of Mexico. So I'm like taking my time and like visiting different like cities for the long term, like doing like trial months and seeing like how I feel about them, what the vibe is, if I want to stay around there. Me and my friend, we travel really well together. We're like great friends. We're really similar. We were having a great time in Tepoztlan until it got hot. So in Mexico City is at a very high elevation, and it's pretty well known for having a mild climate. Now, because of like climate change, we're all being boiled to death. Corporations are stealing all the water. Who knows how long there will be like a livable climate anywhere on Earth, but at least as of now, when I'm filming this, in 2026, Mexico City still has like a super mild, livable climate. And me and my friend made the huge fucking mistake of thinking that because Morelos is close to Mexico, that like the weather and the seasons would be the same. Vastly incorrect. When you have places at different elevations and like a mountain range, mountains just like complicate weather. So like we were kind of like tripping when over the span of one day, it went from being like a beautiful, nice climate, like a little hot for a couple hours in the afternoon, but nothing crazy, to like by 8 a.m. if you're not in the shade, the sun can like scorch the flesh off your bones. Now this is a shift in temperature that like neither of us are used to. So I got a huge fucking migraine, and my friend got an ear infection. Now on my migraine, I was good the next day. My friend was not good the next day, and you know, she was like, oh, I get like ear infections and like allergic related stuff all the time. I even have like meds from the last time I had it around. I'll just take them. And I was like, are they like to date? Do you have enough of the meds to like finish a course? And she was like, yeah, whatever. And basically then she got, so the next day, like she's in bed all day, and like I feel kind of bad. I was starting to get kind of tired and like annoyed with her. I just got over this migraine, like my back and neck were still fucking killing me. It was 150 goddamn degrees outside, Celsius or Fahrenheit, whichever one you like. I think that would be worse in Celsius. Either way, not a delight. So I'm like trying to like talk to her, get her to like go to a doctor, and she decides to go down to the town. Now the thing with Tepoztlan, again, a reoccurring theme in this tale is that depending on who you ask, you'll get different answers. So like I'm gonna report to you all of the answers I was given by different people in every situation. To this day, I do not know what's real, okay? So she goes down in the town to find a doctor. Now our trip happened to start a little before and go after Carnival in Tepoztlan, which is super cool. It's like a folk holiday where they all dress up as this dude called like El Chinelo. I'll insert some pictures and like, or maybe like a video I took if I had it. I don't know. I don't have a lot of good video footage from Tepoztlan, which is a whole other thing we'll get into. So anyway, she's kind of like, so she tries to go down. One doctor told her that because of Carnival, there are no doctors like in Tepoztlan, and she would have to go to like a med tent to get help for her ear infection. And she was like, Would they have antibiotics? And the pharmacist was like, don't know. So the thing about Tepoztlan is it's pretty sleepy and chill most of the time, but during its big events, it becomes like a crazy nightmare. Like you have all these people who like haven't driven in like backroads Mexico before, like swerving everywhere, screaming. There's like gross drunk men everywhere. Like you can't even walk in the streets. Like, so she tries to go to a med tent and like, keep in mind, it was like, it's basically like kind of desert out there, like harsh sun, like awful. And she's waiting out there and she's literally like, I can no longer do this. Like, I'm just gonna go home and wait until Monday when they say the doctors are back. So basically over that time, she developed a fever so bad that she almost died. I thought she was just being like contrarian and weird and like refusing to like take care of So like, I wasn't like mean to her, but in my head, I'm just like please, like even, like do something. So even if there was nothing in Tepoztlan, what ended up happening is that on Valentine's Day, we had to find a taxi to Cuernavaca. And like, I was like, here, like, I'll try and get an Uber up here. I think there's like a taxi mafia in Morelos and you like cannot call Ubers in Morelos. At least every time I tried, you couldn't. That might sound fake to you, but it's very real. When I lived in Guanajuato a couple years ago, I called an Uber and the dude was like, you have to sit up front with me. So like the taxi mafia thinks we're friends and they don't beat my ass. And I was like, whatever you need, homie. Like, shit. So, we can't get Ubers anywhere, which basically we were staying up high, like above the city. Now, some people we talked to said it's not that safe up there and like we probably shouldn't have been up there. We didn't have any issues, but again, like we were always together and often we would take taxis back up at night just because like, as a woman, I don't be walking around at night alone. Some of you might say that like I'm so ugly that nothing bad would ever happen to me. Wish that was how it worked. So, I like coordinated. I'm trying to find an Uber. I can't get one. I'm like, girl, we just have to go down the house, walk to the center, like get a taxi, like go to Cuernavaca. And like, my plan was essentially, I'm very much like, have you seen those memes where it's like, he was an Amazon boy. She was a vamos al centro. Like, bitch. Like, so the thing with Mexico is that, like, unless you're dealing with, like, a big corporate chain, there pretty much are no, one of my whiteboards just fell on the ground. Anyway, unless you're dealing with like a big corporate chain, there kind of are no standard like opening, closing, or business hours for anything. And a lot of shit's closed on Sunday. So I was like, look, in the centro of Cuernavaca, there's like 5 Dr. Simis. Now, the thing with Dr. Simi is that some of them have on-site doctors and some of them don't. But just because it says the on-site doctor gets there at a certain time, doesn't mean that they're there. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, man, so we have to go to a place where there's like a shit ton of farmacias similares. So like at least one of them, if there's like 7 of them, like 3 of them will have a consultorio and like one of them will have to actually, the doctor will have to actually be there. It'll be open. Even if there's like 1,000 people there, like we gotta get you there. We get her all the way in the taxi to Cuernavaca. She's like hallucinating with fever. I try and go. I'm just like, so we go to one consultorio and she's like, it's too busy. I would have to wait too long. And I'm like, whatever, like you're not feeling well. She really was not feeling well. The doctor told her that like, because of how high her fever was, she could have gone to like a hospital and like been hospitalized. So like, I'm dragging her dying ass around Cuernavaca. She's like, one pharmacy isn't open. One pharmacy, the line is too long. So we're walking around. It's like 1,000,000 degrees. My homegirl's dying as fuck. And eventually we find one and she's like, okay, so we were there for about like 2 hours. Oh yeah, so we were kind of panicking and fucked up. Again, I'm recovering from like migraines. I'm in pain from like here to like here, you know. The taxi driver who drove us, he was like, I'll drive you back so you don't have to find another taxi. Never do that. Don't wait for them. Like they just kind of do that so they can sit there. Again, like you are essentially taking up their time, so I see why it costs more. But in cities where like taxis are abundant, there is genuinely no reason to ever like have a taxi wait for you unless it's gonna be like 10 minutes. And yeah, so she goes to the doctor. They give her a shit ton of meds. She's like she's like loopy as fuck. Like, I'm trying to get her to like walk in a straight line so we can go back to find the taxi. And she's just like distracted by everything. Like, she almost got hit by a car. I don't think I like pulled her. I don't think she remembers. So like, we finally get in there. We get out, we get home, and like, she starts taking meds, and it's been over a week and she still can't hear, and is probably gonna have to go to like a specialist. So anyway, that was Valentine's Day. All right, so we're doing migraine, ear infection. Then like the trackpad on my computer just stopped fucking working. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, I'm trying to fix it myself. I go in, try and update the drivers. Like, my keyboard is not working to an extent that like I can't do shit. So I'm probably, what I should have done is just tried to find a wireless mouse and gone in and like connected it to my computer and like done that myself. I didn't know how to do that. So finally I realized I can't fix it myself. In Tepoztlan, it took me like 3 days to find a computer repair shop. One, in very small towns in Mexico, like nothing, things are either like not on Google at all, or like they were, but like they don't have updated hours, things close all the time. So technically on the same road as my Airbnb, there was like a computer repair shop. And by talking to like people around there, they were like, that hasn't been open in years. So from asking like 10 different Mexican people, the answers I got on if there's a computer repair shop at Tepoztlan or not, like a bunch of people said no. A bunch of people sent me on like wild goose chases with weird directions, which again, I think there's something I really noticed living in China and living in Mexico is like this concept of like saving face. So it's like admitting you did something wrong or admitting you don't know something is like a sign of weakness. So I sometimes think Mexican people, like, instead of just telling you they don't know, in order to give you a definitive answer so they don't feel embarrassed, they'll just tell you wildly wrong shit. Like, a bunch of people told me no, a bunch of people sent me to places that don't even make sense. Like, one chick told me to go to, so I was in some shop, I'm looking at like coins from Cuba in the 70s, talking to the guy, and he was like, oh, there used to be a computer repair shop here, but it's gone. And I asked my Airbnb host, and he was like, there might be one, but I don't know if it's good. Thanks, bro. Oh yeah, I also asked him like if he knew of any doctors in Tepoztlan, and he was like, yeah, here's a doctor, but it's the wrong phone number. Thanks, King. Thanks. So it took me days, and finally what hooked me up with finding it is so there's this cafe in the center of Tepoztlan called a Cafe Fabula. There's like a really, really nice, like a woman who works there, and like she saw me like editing some YouTube videos in there like a week before when my computer worked, and she was like, oh my god, are you a content creator? Are you like an influencer? And I was like, no, like 10 people watch me, I'm like dog shit. And she was like, give me your Instagram. So we would like chill and talk. At Cafe Fabula, they have a delicious dark chocolate tart, and they have they have like lavender syrup you can put in things. So I was literally, after like one chick in a shop I asked told me to go to Telcel and ask them where to get my, Telcel is like a cell phone service provider in Mexico. So she was like, go to the Telcel. I try and go to the Telcel. It's closed. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to go to Cafe Fabula. So I'm there, I'm getting a coffee. I'm like complaining to the woman in there, and she was like, oh, I know where you can get your like computer fixed. And I'm like, please tell me. And she like showed me on Google Maps, and she was like, if you're walking in Centro, you'll see like a school in like Guadalupe Rojas, and then you'll see like the symbol of a Joker and painted on a wall, and in where that Joker symbol is, you can get your like computer fixed. And I was like, holy shit, like, thank you, you saved my life. So I try and like follow her directions, and I get to like Guadalupe Rojas and the school, and I'm like looking for a Joker symbol in that area, and I message her on Instagram, and I was like, girl, where am I? What's happening? And she was like, oh, you have to walk down like Guadalupe Rojas. So I'm walking down Guadalupe Rojas, and it's really dope actually. There's a computer repair shop, and what she was actually telling me to go to was like a cell phone repair shop, but right next to it is like a Mr. Fixer computer shop. So I go in there, and I'm like ready. I'm just like, I'm fucking dying. I'm like super hot. I'm like mad stressed out. I'd been walking around for hours in this little ass town. Okay, have you been to Tepoztlan? It's not that big, but it's a lot of like up and down, and like somebody was like, go where the juegos no, not metronicos. Is it electronicos? Fuck it, I don't know, dog. So anyway, I get in there and I like explained to him what's wrong, and he was like, Felix, my man, my king. Wait, I'm gonna check on my caldo. Ignore that I am not unpacked yet. I got some like bolillo to eat with my caldo. So this is just like the best food ever. There is zucchini, carrot, potato, corn, rice, and chicken, and like the whatever this is, I don't know. There's black pepper, there's my rice. I put in half an onion, like half a garlic, and half a lime. I'm waiting for this to like boil up. Let's see. Okay, cool. Please boil. Anyway. I don't recall how we were positioned, my bad. So anyway, he takes it, he fixes it. He's like, first I'm gonna like install and reinstall Windows. Then we'll see like what can be done, you know? And he was actually great. He saved all of the files on my computer to an external hard drive. So like I still have any of the video footage I got like before everything went crazy. I still have that, and I'm gonna post it for you guys. I'm gonna do like a street art in Tepoztlan video, and I'm gonna talk about like my favorite food I ate there too. And there's a couple like chatty videos like this too. I've had some comments that people just like hanging out with me. Anyway, oh yeah, get hydrated. Also, sorry if I'm like burping and farting. I literally have like the worm from Dune. Shai Hulud is inside me, non-sexually. But it was really cool. While I was going to the computer repair place, I noticed there was like a giant like cool mansion like down the street, and I see like all the doors are open and there's art everywhere in it. So I'm like, I'm assuming this is some kind of business, because if it was the dude's house, like it wouldn't be just fucking open. And I walk in there and it's like this beautiful like it's like a house owned by the artist. I believe his name is Angel Bodia. I don't remember. I'll put it in. So a lot has happened. I'm not well. So I go in there and I'm talking to like the woman who works there, and it was like a Tepozteco. He's like a Tepozteco artist with like a couple different collections around, and like he makes and sells stuff. I actually bought a print for my house that I'm gonna put up. But yeah, and she gave me a shot of mezcal, and I just like, oh yeah, because first he was like, this will be done today, come back in 3 hours. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll just walk around and whatever. So I ended up doing, she gave me free mezcal. And because it was so hot, I got like wasted as fuck in this art gallery. And I thought the woman who works there is really cool. So like we were just having good conversations and shit. They serve wine there too. So like I decided to come back when I eventually got my computer back for like a glass of wine. And like she taught me a lot about like death customs in different pueblos in regards to like Dia de Muertos, which I thought was sick. But yeah, I ended up just exploring around there, getting more pictures of street art, waiting. And because again, I'm so far up where my Airbnb, it was like so far up, like in the mountain, like above Tepoztlan. So like it had a really cool view, but it was a bitch to get up and down from. So like I only tried to go up and down like once a day instead of repeatedly coming back to my house, which is something I do in Mexico City a lot. I be in and out of my fucking house like all day long. Like I'm so happy to be back here. But yeah, so it's been like hours and hours, like it's starting to get dark. I'm just sitting at like the Mercado because I needed a bench to sit on like in the shade, and I hit up Felix and I was like, yo, like what's up? Like I'm just asking because if it's not ready today, like I'm gonna go home. I live like high up in the mountain. Like I don't want to be coming back and down. And I could tell he was like kind of salty that I was like bothering him. He was like, no, it won't be ready until tomorrow, and like I'll tell you when. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like thanks, man. There was like a couple days where I was trying to futilely fix my computer myself, and then I realized that I couldn't do it, and it was in the shop for like 3 days. It was really hard to find the shop. Then me and my friend actually, we split off for a day to do different things. I went to this like organic farm that's like, I don't know, like a half-hour walk outside of the city center, but like an hour walk from where I was. Above Tepoztlan. So I went to an organic farm and like I learned it's basically the project of this really cool dude named Rogelio, and like he showed me like how he like grows plants, vegetables, flowers, fruits, and herbs in like a patterned way to like deter bugs naturally and stuff. It was mad cool. I had like a great time with him, and also like he told me like really deep, heavy shit about like his life that like I'm not gonna tell you, but like we were talking about a lot of shit, and like I was about how like a lot of Americans like they see Donald Trump as like the ultimate like representation of like evil in a society, like a supervillain or something, and they're like, I need to leave America because of Trump, but like all the things that he does, like most of our other presidents and like founding fathers have done, like it blows my mind, like post Epstein files, to see people like, what do you think Thomas Jefferson would have thought about this? I'm like, he was like enslaving his own kids. He was like screwing like children. Like this is what the white supremacist government is, baby girl. But anyway, we had like cool conversations. I learned a lot. I'm very into like all aspects of like food and like agriculture and food production, like because like the land, like I don't know, like it's just like the land is like what produces like life, and like learning how to like plant seeds, and like I gotta like dig in the earth and like stick my fucking hands in there and shit, and like learn stuff I didn't know. Fun fact about me, I didn't know in Spain they call nuts frutos secos. And like that, I was like, why the fuck is a nut a fruit? Like, what you mean? I'm from Philly, okay? Like, my concerns as like a 19-year-old was like, once like I bought a 40 from a homeless man, you think I fucking know where nuts grow from? But I learned that nuts grew on trees when I was like in my late 20s, and my roommate at the time in Spain, like she was like, what are you, an idiot? And then she took me to like these beautiful like almond farms. And I was like, holy shit. And she was like, we're going to break onto this guy's farm and steal almonds. And I was like, I love you. You want a scissor right now? But anyway, so I split off to do that. I'm not gonna give like identifying because I told the dude's name. It's like his Airbnb experience. I highly recommend it if you are in Tepoztlan and you're interested in like organic small scale farming and like what different communities are doing. I think especially in the US, as food becomes more and more expensive, it's gonna be more and more important for like communities to band together to provide for themselves, as like the US is like a failing state, brother. Like I don't know. Anyway, damn, the worms in me are speaking facts. I only speak 3 languages: English, Spanish, and facts. Oh yeah, so while I was doing that on the farm, my friend went to Cuernavaca to get like her nails done, and she had the most insane experience of her life. She got in a cab of this like older dude who's his daughter was I think you can't say certain words on YouTube, but like she was caught in the crossfire. So the thing about Morelos in general is at least according to experts, they say that there's like about a dozen criminal organizations fighting for control of Morelos. The center of Tepoztlan is kept pretty safe because I think like those organizations make a lot of money off tourists there, so they want to keep it like chill more or less. But it's really common in Cuernavaca to for people, just random people, to get caught in like the crossfires of things that have nothing to do with them. So actually almost most of the people I've talked to who are like locals here, they've like lost people to like the violence and instability in the state, which is like, again, like, I'm telling you about all this wild shit that happened to me. It is like a 500th of what like normal ass people, Mexicans, go through trying to like fucking live out here. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people I talk to, they've lost like loved ones. And my friend Sarah, so she got in the cab with this cab driver, and he's like an older man, and like he's driving a cab and going to law school because his daughter, who passed away after being caught in like the crossfire of shit that had nothing to do with her, she was going to law school to become a lawyer. So like he's finishing her course to like be a lawyer. And like, and Sarah, like, she got like, that's my friend, she got his number, and I'm like, I want her to like keep in contact with him so we can find out when he graduates from law school, and we can go to his like graduation. Oh my god. So yeah, we reconvene, and we had like really interesting, like heavy days doing our different tasks, but really beautiful. It was just like, can you believe that shit? Like what a king. I think if something like that happened to me, I would like simply give up. But yeah, that's really beautiful. I've met like so many like really kind people in Morelos who've had like horrible things happen to them, and like, anyway, we want to go to his like graduation. If at any point I ever have any kind of platform, that's the kind of person I would like to talk to on my platform. Cause like that's just like incredible. And I was like, the thing is, like, I'm not gonna tell you like Rogelio's like deep personal beef with like stuff, but like, man, it was just a heavy ass day. And it was beautiful, and I learned a lot about farms, and I hope we can go back to watch that older man graduate from law school. Oh yeah, keep in mind while all these things are happening, there's a backdrop of like the Airbnb. Again, like I think in Mexico, like certain things are kind of common. Like I've definitely been to Airbnbs before where they're like, oh, this is like fully stocked for long-term stays, and you go there and there's like no sheets on the bed, you know, kind of shit. Like that's not unreasonable. I feel like when like Chilangos buy up properties in like tourist zones to like hike up the prices, that's usually what they do. But like if it's like one-on-one, I prefer Airbnbs where like I try and rent Airbnbs from somebody who like actually lives in the city. So like if I need something, they can like help me. Also, my Airbnb host, he was really cool. He explained like a lot of local lore to me. Like there's crosses made out of twine that almost remind me of like Bridget crosses, like on all the tombs in Tepoztlan. Oh shit, that reminds me. I went to the Panteon. That's like the cemetery of Tepoztlan. And it's very beautiful, very interesting. There's even like French graves in there. But I might do like a cemetery video. But something was not interred properly in that cemetery. Like, have you ever smelled a dead body? Now, again, I did not take pictures of this. I did not film it. I'm not on some like Logan Paul type shit. I literally just like being in cemeteries, especially in Mexico. Like, the relationship with death is like very different, like from the relationship that like colonizer countries have with death, where like you kind of like ignore it, or like you're not allowed to grieve, or like that's over. Like I think like in like the colonizer thing, everything has like a middle, beginning, and an end. No, wait, beginning, middle, and end. But then in like non-colonizer like countries and like older than like Western colonialism. Like things are very cyclical and like messy, which I think is like more authentic and real and like reflects genuine experience more. And I found that really reflected in the Pantheon de Tepoztlan. But what I also found is that somebody had either like dug up a body or like did not inter them properly. Like when the wind blew wrong, the scent of like a dead rotting body was so horrible that I almost threw up in the cemetery and I had to leave, dude. Like the way, so like I was talking to one of my friends about it because I stopped in a fonda to get some amitacates after, because I was starving. I like been walking all up and down. But she was like, what did it smell like? And I was like, it smelled like the worst and most evil, like rotting garbage, like from the depths of hell that like a human being could reasonably inhale. And she was like, yeah, I think you smelled a dead body. One thing too, if you go somewhere, so there's also like, I think it's more likely that a body was not interred properly. Also sense like that if like you're an occultist or you believe in like magical systems, things like that can be an indication of like super evil, harmful, like spirits and entities also. So like regardless of how you swing it, either like there was literally like a body open in there, or there was like an evil spirit or like some kind of presence that did not want my ass to be there, which is fair either way. You don't need to tell me twice. I'm white, like I am unmelanated, but I'm not like culturally that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to tell my ass twice. So yeah, so oy vey. But and meanwhile, while all this is going on, like a lot of stuff just like did not work in the house we were staying in, which like I feel like especially for rural Mexico, it's really common that there will be like whole neighborhood wide like blackouts. I experienced that a lot in Guanajuato, so like that's not the Airbnb host's fault at all. Like the first thing I do, because like I've gotten so used to blackouts that like I know what to do now. So like first thing, I'll like open my window and see if like there's like, if it's all the neighborhood or whatever, or like all my building or something, or it's just my house. Then like if it's the whole block, like you gotta go outside and like find a business and be like, hey, like to see like y'all got power, what's up? And a lot of times they'll be like, no, we ain't got power. And then you're like, así es. So yeah, like the water, we couldn't really figure it. So it's weird. The first 3 weeks we lived there was like a pump outside to like pump water into the house. The first 3 weeks I did it basically every time we needed water and it worked perfectly. After those like 3 weeks, it started to be this whole thing where like only the bottom floor of the house would fill, but like not the top floor. And like, so the husband told me, no, the wife told me to fill the water for 20 minutes. The husband told me to do it for 40. So like I've figured like I'll split the difference and like do 30. Half the time it would start overflowing at like 15 minutes. But again, like only the last week, and it wasn't that horrible for me until I got deathly ill and was shitting my brains out. Literally, I like threw out a pair of underwear because I shit it. I had to like use zote, which is like a brick of like laundry soap. I had to wash panties and like underwear out in the sink because I'd like shit myself. Not great. So the first day, I was like, oh, it's just a parasite. So Sarah actually had parasite meds like with her, because here it's called Loxel. If you honestly, it's like you can just go to like Dr. Simi and be like, necesito algo para desparasitarme. Again, I don't know if that grammar is perfect, but I've never had, every time I do that, they're like, here's your Loxel, queen. Like, I don't know. So I took that and I started to feel better immediately. The next day, I literally like, like no fart was safe, okay? Like it literally anytime I'd like bending to pack, like it took me a while because I kept like thinking every time I like farted or felt a twinge, I thought I was gonna shit my fucking pants. Yeah, so I'm just shitting my pants and like the water runs out in the house and then I try and fill it doing the same thing I've been doing the whole time. It overflows. We still have no water on the top floor. Like something that's really, again, in Mexico, like it's not so much about, it's same in China. It's not about like solving problems. It's about like avoiding being at fault so you win. So like I kept trying to tell our Airbnb host, I'm like, yo, like I think something's weird with the water. Like the first time, like the first like 8 times I filled up the water, I had no problems. Now it's not going to the upper floor of the house and like it's overflowing a lot. And he was just like, oh, you're just switching the tubes around. I do that all the time. But I'm like, no, like hear me out, man. Like it's not even that's the thing, because like I feel like entropy is like the constant state of all things. So like I'm just trying to address problems so they can be solved. I'm not trying to like address problems so I can like fight with you. I don't like fighting. But yeah, my friend she was super rad. Like she brought me like caldo de pollo from a restaurant she put all the way up the fucking hill. She kept me like supplied with fucking bolillo and suero. Like she didn't even know what the fuck a bolillo was. I was like, it's a roll, bring me the loaf. Like thank you. But you know, she was super rad. And yeah, and then the next day, like, I thought I was feeling better, and I, like, shit everywhere. Like, a shit through my clothes, and I had to, like, zote them, and, the good thing, so, we're gonna circle back to, like, what people tell you, you have no way of knowing anything innately, so, like, one guy said that, like, the doctors, like, consultorios were closed because of Carnival. When I was sick that day, and Sarah was like down in Centro doing errands, she checked and they were like, it says every other Saturday the doctor is there until 3. So like I don't know which of those things is correct, or if like I lucked out. So I'm like, so after I shit myself, I was like, I stuffed toilet paper into my fucking underwear and I walked down the mountain in the heat, like woozy as shit, and I go into the doctor's office and like she presses on my stomach and she's talking to me and she was like, show me your tongue. And I was like, okay. And she was like, you're incredibly dehydrated and your stomach is incredibly inflamed. Here's like 75 fucking meds and like antibiotics for you. And she put me on like nuclear like electrolyte, and I was like, do I need to buy this extra electrolyte? Like, can I just have like suero like from like Super Tapas or algo? And she was like, no, you need both. Like you're visibly crispy and I'm like concerned for you. I was like, great. So yeah, then that was like our last full day in Tepoztlan was when I was just shitting my pants, and I started the meds and went to the doctor and everything. And yeah, it was also really hard to leave. Now again, I'm pretty sure because of the taxi mafia, you cannot call any Ubers. To Morelos, we'd originally Ubered from Mexico City to Tepoztlan because we had so much shit, and like it turned out so we would either have to like Uber, so one of us would have to Uber to somebody's house, then we would have to go to either Tasqueña and get the bus that goes to Tepoztlan every hour, or which is all the way in the south and it costs like money to get there too. Or we would have to go to Central Norte, where like it looks like there's only one bus a day now that I could find online that leaves at like 6 p.m. every day. So it was like so then we'd have to like meet up at our houses with somebody's house, either go to Central Norte or to go to Tasqueña, then take another bus, then pay a taxi driver. And we were like, we'll just split an Uber. It was like cheaper, but you can't call Ubers to Tepoztlan. So I'm sick as fuck. Sarah still can't hear anything. We're trying to find like bus schedules and like for a Sunday, and like I sent her ones and she was like, oh, like these are like super old, like the bus costs like 4 times this now. And I was like, great. So I was like, our only option for a bus, it looks like, is to get the one that goes to Central Norte at like 6 p.m. out of Tepoztlan. But I'm still kind of shitting myself and I feel like terrible. So we're like, we'll find something else. So I call a taxi company, and because we figured we'd call around, we'd ask both in the center and call some taxi companies, because I'm here, like, especially when people hear you have an accent, like a English related speaking accent, they'll try and like rip you the fuck off for real. Like you can't blame them. Like I would do that if I was them, but also like I'm not gonna just lay down and take it either, you know? You don't hate the player, not the game type shit. So like I call one company and they're closed on Sundays, so we can't get through to them. Like, she asked a bunch of different taxi drivers in the center, and they were all like, oh, like, we'll go, but we'll only take you to Tasqueña, or like, we'll only take you to Centro. And it's like, cool, then we would have to like pile all of our shit into like separate cars and have like an extra travel stop anyway, and like we wouldn't save that much money. So I ended up, I'm trying to call a taxi company in Cuernavaca, and they were like, why the fuck are you? She sounded super pissed that I even called her. She was like, why are you calling me? Like, you're not in Cuernavaca, goodbye. So Sarah ended up going down into the center and talking to some taxi drivers, and like one guy said he would do it, but he couldn't do it because he had to like take somebody to the hospital. So he had his friend who was going to Mexico City anyway, take us back to the city. So like, I don't know, I was kind of dazed and not well this morning. I didn't eat or drink because I didn't want to like shit in this man's car. Let's go check on the soup. Oh yeah. That's some caldo de pollo, baby. Oh wait, I think, yeah, that's a little better, but look at it. It's beautiful. Boop. And there is an entire fucking corn in here. So essentially what I'm gonna do eventually, see that? That's a whole fucking corn. So when that's cooked through, I'm gonna like take out the chicken and shred it, and take out the corn and cut it into chunks. Oh, it smells so good in here. Now you might be thinking, what the fuck did you do getting into a strange man's car to like get back to the city? And Sarah actually recognized him. I think he was like a taxi driver, like in general, but like she hit him up for like a ride one time because we didn't do like everything together. We had like different times. Like I went to the cemetery alone. I went to the organic farm alone. Like sometimes we'd have some like meals or like separate to like work alone, you know? Yeah, she recognized him. So it wasn't like some random dude. Also, it's been a wild fucking time. I had some beautiful experiences and I met some like really cool people, but like I'm mad happy to be back in my house resting. Like, thank fucking God. I'll insert like a picture of like the caldo de pollo when it's like done. It's gonna be like a while in there and I'm like fucking starving. Today, I had a bolillo, a spoon of peanut butter, like water and suero, and that's it. But anyway, thanks for coming to my therapy session. I'm Isadora. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow for more complaints and soups. These are my specialties. Bye.